Once upon a time, nestled between mountains and seas in a forgotten valley, lived a majestic bird of flame. Its feathers blazed like molten gold, and its cry echoed with the power of 1,000 suns. This was no ordinary bird, but the legendary phoenix, whose life was a mystery and whose death was an enigma. For the phoenix was said to burn itself into ash, only to rise again, renewed and radiant. Its life a continuous cycle of death and rebirth. Across the land, tales were spun of its immortality, and many a brave soul ventured into the mountains to seek it out, hoping to steal one of its feathers to gain eternal life themselves. But the cunning bird always managed to escape their grasp. And so the phoenix lived on in its hidden valley, a legend whispered on the wind. But in a small village near the mountains, there lived a blind musician named Leora. Though she had never seen the world's beauty, she believed sound could paint pictures just as vivid. She spent her days weaving melodies that danced in her soul and filled the hearts of those who heard them with a joy that knew no bounds. One day, a strange restlessness stirred within her. An inner voice seemed to guide her towards the mountains, promising a discovery that would change her life. With a basket of provisions on her arm, she stepped into the unknown, following the whispering wind. The journey was long and fraught with peril. Leora stumbled and fell, scraped her knees and bruised her palm, but she never stopped. Her determination grew with each step, fueled by the promise of something extraordinary. As night descended, the forest grew dark and eerie. Strange sounds echoed around her, and fear threatened to consume her. Yet Leora pressed on, driven by an unseen force. And then at dawn, as the first rays of sunlight pierced through the canopy, she heard it. A haunting melody woven into the wind itself. It was a song of sorrow and strength, of loss and longing, yet also of hope and renewal. The notes danced and soared, echoing in the valleys and whispering through the trees. And Leora knew in her heart that she had found what she was seeking. Following the ethereal melody, she emerged into a clearing, bathed in golden light. And there before her, perched on a rock, was the most magnificent sight she had never seen. The phoenix. Its feathers blazed with 1,000 hues, crimson and gold, azure and emerald, all set against a backdrop of purest white. Its eyes shone with ancient wisdom, and its gaze held the secrets of eternity. Fear should have gripped her, for who could remain unfazed by such otherworldly splendor? Yet in that moment, something within her shifted. All she felt was a profound sense of awe and an overwhelming urge to understand. Setting aside her basket, she raised her flute to her lips and played a tentative note. The sound echoed through the clearing, carrying with it the story of her journey, her struggles, and her hopes. The phoenix cocked its head, regarding her with an air of amusement. Then, to her utter astonishment, it began to reply. And so began a conversation unlike any other. The phoenix sang of its eternal cycle, of how it burned away its old self to make way for a new one, of how death was not an ending, but a beginning. Each note resonated deep within Leora's soul, stirring emotions she had never known she possessed. With each passing moment, Leora's determination to capture the phoenix's song in her own music grew stronger. She played, and the phoenix sang, and together they created a symphony of sound and flame. The melody wove tales of ages past and whispered secrets of the universe. Leora felt as though she were discovering not just the phoenix's song, but her own as well. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the clearing, the phoenix prepared to depart. Before it vanished from sight, it turned to Leora and spoke in a voice that echoed with the wisdom of ages. "My child, you have shown great courage in seeking my song. Now I shall bestow upon you a gift, not for yourself, but for all who hear your music." Leora's heart raced with anticipation. What gift could the phoenix, the immortal bird of flame, possibly offer her? And then it unfolded its wings, bathing her in a golden light. "Take my song," it proclaimed, "and weave it into your music. Let it be a reminder that even in the darkest of nights, dawn will eventually break. Even in the deepest despair, hope will return." Leora reached out, her fingers trembling, and the phoenix brushed against her hand, its touch both warm and cool, as if 1,000 suns had converged on her skin. She felt the essence of the phoenix's song flow into her very being. When Leora awoke in her village, the sky was filled with the soft hues of dawn. As she sat up, the memory of the phoenix and its song flooded back. With trembling hands, she reached for her flute, half expecting it to burst into flames. But there was no sign of the phoenix's touch, at least not yet. Disappointed, she was about to give up when she noticed a change in the way her flute felt in her hands. It was as though its surface had been polished to a mirror shine, reflecting the soft morning light. Curiosity piqued. She brought the flute to her lips and played a single note. At first, it sounded like any other note, but as it echoed through the air, it transformed. The melody carried within it the essence of the phoenix's song, a blend of sorrow and resilience, of loss and renewal. Tears streamed down Leora's face as she played, tears of gratitude, of joy, of sorrow, and of hope. The music flowed from her, carrying with it the story of the phoenix and her own journey. As the villagers gathered, Drawn by the haunting melody, Leora continued to play. With each note, she wove the tale of the immortal bird of flame, of its endless cycle of death and rebirth, of its song of renewal in the face of destruction. The villagers listened, mesmerized, as the music painted vivid pictures in their minds. They saw the phoenix in all its glory, its feathers ablaze with 1,000 colors, its eyes shining with ancient wisdom. They heard its haunting song echoing through the mountains and felt its message of hope and renewal fill their hearts. By the time Leora finished playing, the sky had turned a deep indigo, studded with countless stars. The villagers sat in stunned silence, unable to speak or move. It was as though the phoenix itself had descended from the heavens and bestowed a piece of its magic upon them. Finally, someone broke the silence. "We saw it," they whispered, their voices filled with awe. "We saw the phoenix." Another nodded, their eyes shining with wonder. "Its song still echoes in my heart," they murmured. "It's a song of sorrow, yet it brings me joy." Leora smiled, a single tear rolling down her cheek. She knew what they saw and felt because she, too, had experienced the phoenix's magic. But she also understood that what the villagers truly witnessed was not the phoenix itself, but the rebirth of hope in their hearts. For the phoenix's song was not just a melody, it was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, life goes on. As the days turned into weeks, Leora continued to play her music throughout the village. Wherever she went, her melodies carried the essence of the phoenix, bringing with them a sense of renewal and hope. The villagers, touched by the music, began to heal from their wounds. Their laughter echoing once more through the streets. And though they never saw the phoenix again, the memory of its song lived on in their hearts. One day, while playing in a sun-drenched meadow, Leora looked up at the sky and smiled. She knew that the phoenix was always with her, not in the skies, but in the hearts of all who heard her music. For Leora understood that the true miracle was not in seeing the phoenix, but in a song's ability to bring people together. Through the power of music and the memory of an immortal bird, she had become the vessel of renewal, carrying the phoenix's legacy in every note she played.